Hi, class. So the first question says to discuss what appears to be differing motivations for the team members here. I think that it is obvious that each team member in the case study does seem to have a different motive. It looks like they all are working towards different goals. Overall, it seems that Jill has the company's best interest at heart, while Francois seemed to be motivated by more personal reasons. The other team members in the middle seem to have the organization at the forefront of their mind while making decisions as well. The second question says, how would you describe LMX in this case? So the text said that leaders have limited time, so they share what information needs to be shared. I think that in this specific situation, the text mentioning that kind of ties back into when they did have that major problem and needed to go into kind of damage control mode. They most likely communicated just the necessities, the necessary information. Excuse me. So in a crisis, I feel like you need to communicate the important points. You don't have time to communicate anything social or extracurricular. And so I'm sure that that's what they did. Also, in the text, it mentioned that LMX is characterized by both trust and doubt. And I think that this is shown by giving a little insight into each of the team members' backgrounds, and then after the whole case study finished up, to follow up with them and let us know what happened after everything was said and done. Because I feel like there was both trust as well as doubt among the team members. And I think that that's probably a pretty real life example. I think that you can't please all the people all the time. And I think that obviously some people are going to trust your decision-making process and what you decide upon, and some people are going to doubt it. So I think that that covers that. The third question says, describe how peer relationships might be improved for virtual teams. And in the case study, it said that they did set up face-to-face meeting twice a year. I think that on top of the face-to-face meetings, they could also encourage team members as well as employees to join groups within the organization, become members, build their relationships for social reasons, make sure that they're meeting for social reasons, and then make sure that they're participating in office-related activities. I know that they're a virtual team, but I think that there are things that they can still do to build those relationships. The fourth one says, discuss how technology influences the interpersonal relationship on virtual teams. And the text mentioned that virtual teams have a tougher time bonding or finding similarities. One of the main points mentioned was proximity. Proximity is listed as a major factor in building relationships. And because virtual teams are usually utilizing the virtual world because they're not near each other, obviously that makes it a little bit more difficult, but I think that it doesn't take away their bond completely, and if they try to make an effort, that they can strengthen those relationships. Finally, the last question asks about cultural influences in the virtual team, and do they need to be understood? And I think that cultural influences are very important in the virtual team. I feel like everyone communicates different, and the communication that we are able to have with others is based on our culture as well as many other factors like predispositions and our past experiences. So I think that virtual teams have to take people's cultural differences into account. Some important cultural differences that we need to know about, like a society or where people come from, would be like low and high power distance, as well as if the person comes from an individualistic or a collectivistic culture. I think that that makes a big difference. We can understand where they're coming from and then therefore communicate a little better with everyone. Thanks so much. Have a good week. See you next